The French government has been accused of making some of its new language tests for foreigners seeking to stay in the country so hard even its own citizens would fail them. An impact report on a new migration law expected to come into force before the end of the year suggested the stricter requirements could lead to 60,000 people being refused permission to remain in France. So according to the new law that is to take place before the end of this year in France, they have even made the French test more harder than even French citizens themselves might not pass it. And this is putting about 60,000 people in the serious danger of getting a refusal when they apply to remain in France. The test, which costs around £100, are part of bill passed a year ago that includes tighter border controls and tougher measures to expel foreign migrants. So you see, this French test now is part of a bill that was passed last year that includes tighter border controls and tougher measures to expel foreign migrants. Ministers argue its primary aim is to promote greater integration of foreigners, but that's not true. Because if you're telling us on one side is to promote greater integration of foreigners, then why are you giving them tests that your own citizens can't even pass in order for them to get their renewal permit to remain in France? And you know, France is one of the worst things that happened to Africa. Yes, because wherever you see that France is in Africa, there's no peace there. Wherever you see that France is in Africa, they are looting the resources there on daily basis. Wherever you see that France is in Africa, go and check the economic situation in that country. You see that that country is wallowing in immense poverty that you can't even imagine. Yes, so the earlier the better. Now they want to regulate their borders and pass a stricter test that people might not be able to pass this test in order to renew their permits to remain in France. But France is busy on daily basis, still depending on the ODP agreement they have with most of the predecessors in Africa that makes them to think that they have right over African natural resources. It's good for them to pass bills and all that, but they should equally think of freeing all those countries they are holding hostage through their colonial agreements and all that. Because if those countries have their total sovereignty, can control their resources and all that, then you will see that the number of illegal migrants or foreign migrants coming to France will reduce. That is just the truth. But they know the right thing, they refuse to do it because they are still working with their puppets in Africa to achieve that. The earlier we don't have puppets and saboteurs in Africa, that is only then that we will completely be able to liberate Africa from the claws of the West. We will be able to cut off the last remaining chains of the imperialists, and Africa will totally be redeemed. Africa will totally be free. Africa will prosper, Africa will flourish, and Africa will excel.